Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is Natalie, Naturally Ryan. You know I go by all three, and today I have a really fun video that I get to make where I get to talk about Korea, which I would have done anyway, but now there's a very special reason that I'm doing it. So I have been lucky enough to be selected as a K-influencer. And what is a K-influencer, you might ask? Well, a K-influencer is me. But also, a K-influencer is someone who is going to be making content for Korea.net. Korea.net is a news site all about Korea and, you know, the global expansion of Korea, all that, you know, fun jazz that we love to talk about here on this channel. A little bit more about Korea.net before I forget. I will be putting the YouTube channel in my little description. I'll be putting their social media links in my description, plugging them wherever I can because obviously they're giving me an opportunity to grow my platform, and also you'll get to see my stuff also on their channel and on my channel, and how cool is that? They'll be, you know, together, existing in two places on the internet. So please go support Korea.net and their YouTube channel, and also support my channel because you're here and you support me already, so keep doing that, thank you. And so I've been lucky enough to be selected as one of these K-influencers where, you know, every month we'll have a special video challenge to make, a couple optional challenges, all that sort of cool stuff. There's so many of us all over the world, which is, it's a huge honor to be a part of this. It's so cool to be a part of this. I'm so pumped to be a part of this. This first video is all about how I got introduced to Korea and how I got, you know, involved in learning about Korean culture, especially because growing up in America, you really don't hear about a lot of other countries' cultures unless you specifically take classes in high school, you know, revolving around that, but most people don't ever get the chance to. So I learned about Korea like a little bit in school, but never really in depth. Like throughout elementary school, we would just say like, these are countries that exist, there you go, but never really talk a lot about the history of any other nations. Really outside of Europe or North America, there wasn't much discussion about history overall. So a lot of the learning that I did personally about other countries and cultures was just from my own study. Like when I was kind of like 10 to 12 years old, I got really into just full-on deep diving, reading Wikipedia pages, like going all in, reading as much as I could about countries that weren't America. And originally it started with like a lot of Western Europe because that is what we talked about in school, and I was really interested by like the, you know, socioeconomic impacts of World War II. I was such a popular kid. But yes, I was really interested in like how that geopolitical turmoil led to the First and Second World Wars. Like one thing that I did pick up from all of these countries I would research, something that I really loved to learn about was music that was popular in different nations. So before I was into K-pop, the obsession I had prior was Eurovision. Yes, the singing competition throughout Europe, yes, the big one with the flags and the glitter and the, yeah. I went to elementary school and I would talk about Eurovision. People didn't know what that was. I wasn't bullied ever. This leads us to one glorious day. I had a friend who, sadly we don't talk anymore, but like when we were 12 to 14, we were very close. And she was like, hey, have you heard of K-pop? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And she's like, it's Korean pop music. And I was like, I'm intrigued. Hello, yes, I'm intrigued, but will I be made fun of for liking this? Because I was already severely made fun of for liking Eurovision, and maybe it's because I didn't shut up about it, but nonetheless, I was still made fun of. Now, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know this, my lovely viewer, but children are cruel. And so, like, people would make fun of each other for liking the most normal things. Like, people were bullied for liking One Direction, people were made fun of for liking Pokemon, like stuff that is universally pretty liked and loved and popular, people were made fun of. So me showing up, I was always dressed like it was, I was always dressed like I was about to go running in the dark, so it was all neon all the time, just like bright yellow bows, neon pink, knee-high socks that were different colors, because why would they match? Absolutely not. I'm not gonna be basic. And if I wasn't dressed like that, I was dressed like I rolled out of a Hot Topic. So I was like, you know, layered black shirts, My Chemical Romance, we had anime t-shirts, I had colored jeans or patterned jeans that basically, like, I was myself and I was so happy. And then when I realized that people didn't like it when I was myself, I just stopped. Because it was easier to like hide than be honest. And this is all very irrelevant to the story. So my friend sends me a song called Monster by EXO, and I was like, what's an EXO? And I was so excited to listen to it, and I listened to it, and I thought that it was such a cool song. I didn't even see the music video. I only heard the song. It was like a lyric video. It was like one of those ones in 2016 that was, you know, aesthetically pleasing for 2016, but looking back in 2021, it is not that cool. So, EXO lyric video, the song just, it slaps. It hits different. I love it. I listened to it like 5 more times, and then she's like, hey, do you want to go to the mall on, I don't know, Saturday? We'll make up a date. And so we went together, and I was telling her, like, this song's so good, like, this is so cool, like, how have I never heard this before? And she's like, just wait. When we go back to my house for a sleepover, I have something else to show you. And that night was so impactful in my young 14-year-old life, you know? So she showed me EXO, we watched the performance video, I was like, oh my god, this is great. Then we watched the Growl video, so like, I got to see the original lineup of EXO, and I chose Luhan with his pink hair, and I was like, I'm in love with him, that's my husband, thank you. And then we just kept going. We just kept watching more and more K-pop videos. She's like, this is BTS. This is BTS, you're gonna love BTS. And I was like, I trust you fully. She showed me No More Dream, and I was like, wow, RM, he's a man. 14-year-old me was like, RM, that's the type of man I want, like, taking care of me. That's the good guy. But my bias ended up being Suga, because we watched a bunch of, like, the Run BTS and BTS interview, like, or it might not have been Run BTS at the time, but we, like, watched them. No, it was, like, American Hustle Life. It was American Hustle Life, I think. Things, and she's like, yeah, they walk around downtown, like, LA, and they, like, give out tickets to their shows, because, like, they're not popular here yet, but, like, maybe they will be. I'm so proud of them and where they came from. So BTS, I loved it, and I was like, this is all the emo stuff I love. Like, it's the dark concepts, it's the like the lyrics talking about like all of the injustice in the world, but then like they also have all of their soft boy hours where they're cute and they're like, well, we're in love and I love you, and I'm like, wow, that's what 14-year-old me needs to hear. So BTS, I was like, this is so cool, and I hope that I get to listen to them more in the future, and I do now. And the last group she showed me was 17, and we watched Aju Nice, and I was like, wow, oh my god, that's a lot of people. Didn't expect that. And she's like, yeah, there's a lot of groups with a lot of people, and so I was like, okay, cool. This song has an amazing trumpet in the chorus. This is such a fun dance song. The dance is so cool. I'm gonna keep 17 in mind. 17 right here, 17 right here in my mind, you know? And then we also watched a couple G-Dragon videos, because, like, G-Dragon, you know, you need him, love G-Dragon, I love G-Dragon so much. So, yeah, I got a really good introduction through all of those things. And, you know, even though it makes me sad that I wasn't open and honest about liking K-pop for a long time, like, I would secretly, in the bathroom, getting ready for school in the morning, like, I'd be listening to EXO's Peter Pan. That's my favorite EXO song even to this day. I'd be, like, playing Monster in my headphones, just being like, I love this song so much. I would be listening to early BTS and being like, oh, what's going on? What are they releasing now? Ooh. And I remember very specifically when they released Young Forever, like, that whole album, I was like, I really think that I need to like this group and, like, actually commit to liking them, because I would listen to songs here and there, but, like, I refused to buy albums, I refused to tell people that I liked it, I refused, like, to be open about this side of me, because people had already made fun of me for being different, and I didn't want to be vulnerable again. I didn't want to tell people about who I really was again, because I wasn't ready to deal with that. And as I got older, there was this giant shift in my life where I was just like, who even cares? Who cares? It's my life. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna like the things that I want to like. I'm going to just exist and be happy about it. Like, I'm not existing for anyone else other than me, so I may as well have a good time. The thing that really drew me into K-pop was the same thing that drew me into Eurovision. That's my cat over, how do hand work? Cat over here on the bed. Hi, buddy. Anyway, the thing that drew me into K-pop was really not the same thing that drew me into Eurovision, because they are very, very different, and they need to be respected as two totally different things, but it was the fact that there were these amazing concepts that wanted to show off these themes deeper than just what the song was conveying. It was the outfits, it was the dances, it was the music itself. It was the fact that even though I couldn't speak the language, this music was still hitting me in a way and making me feel a way that I really resonated with and really wanted to feel. That was the most amazing thing. So my introduction to Korea, other than me going on these weird internet tangents where I would just look up random historical events, was really just one of my friends asking me if I wanted to start liking something with her, and here I am today with a bedroom full of posters and a lot of albums and even more in the mail.